part of ASWE is a platform to share information about our programs with our members of the public. Let me also extend our special welcome to our guests who are here to share with us the various information about the program of the municipality. I'm going to invite the head of communication, Tozi Mteto, to do the welcome item before we proceed with our program.
Thank you very much for joining our Community Media Forum. Friends, members of the media, especially the important sector of community media, we are indeed very happy that you are with us today. If I look at our mandate of, being a developmental arm of government, our mandate of ensuring the delivery of basic services in order to improve the lives of citizens. We're very happy with the signing of the MOU. We have asked Mayor to assist us. In fact, we put in a report, I don't think it has been approved yet, to increase our budget so we can invest a lot more in community media in order to help drive the content. And I think as I close today, let's together go to war. Let's put together content that will change the course of some of the people's lives out there. I'm talking to some people now looking at an entrepreneurial program in retail space to get young people exposed to retail online, using online as a tool to get products into the market. Let's really put in positive energy into our developmental plans and let people see, let people experience and aspire to that city of 2030. Thank you so much.
And in that regard, we have invited a colleague, Malcolm, from our disaster management unit, who's going to take us through, give us the update. So without any further ado, I'm going to invite Malcolm to come on stage to take us through your presentation. Thank you.
The presentation seeks just to give you an update of what's happened from the 10th of October to now. Our unit exists because of the Disaster Management Act 57 of 2002, which looks at mainly two things. It says prevent where you can. If you cannot prevent, then mitigate. Take steps to lessen the impact of any emergencies or hazards. What caused that? It's important to recognize what had happened. You see, we received weather warnings for 2 days before. What were the systems that we were seeing in terms of our weather watch? There were two cold fronts approaching, for one, and off the sea, a high pressure cell, and over the land, a low pressure cell. When you have that, it's like when you mix juice, you take a bit of orange juice, you pour a little bit in a glass, and you add water in. So because the juice itself, the dye is thicker, it dilutes into the water and your whole glass then turns orange, or the liquid turns orange. Similarly with the high pressure and the low pressure cell. The high pressure then feeds in towards the low pressure system. Because the low pressure was on the coast, over land, and the high pressure over the coast, it fed in the warm air. Combine that then with the cold fronts that were approaching. That's where we saw the wind speeds. When there's a change in temperature, it brings in that wind behind it. So the maximum wind speed was up to 74 kilometers, and that was essentially what caused the damage. Let's talk about departmental response, because I know my time is quite limited. Immediately, we became aware of the extent of the impact. The first thing to do was to summon our communications people, speak to Metro Police Department as well, to send a message out to the residents of the city that this is what we are seeing, and the advisories. We call it public protective actions. Staying indoors, shelter where you can. If you are walking in the street, try get into a building where there's some measure of safety. I just like almost finished now, to end with this particular saying and the slides that speak to it. That disasters bring development. So when there's a major incident, and then if government has the funds to step in and redo, for example, an informal settlement fire. If we go in and we say, don't build where you were before, we're going to grade and make gaps between and arrange this quite nicely in situ, then that disaster has brought about a measure of development. Thank you, everyone.
I would like to invite on stage Umpume Kumed to come and present us of their programs and interventions around this. Thank you.
We are responsible for the channeling, basically, of the stormwater and the provision of infrastructure. We manage the flood risk to houses. So we protect our citizens, our properties, commercial properties, industries. And then another challenge that we have is the blockage of stormwater infrastructure. Because all that waste goes down, and then all that litter, it goes down and block our stormwater infrastructure. Sometimes if blockage is caused during the cleaning, when you clean your properties, some of the people, they tend to move their waste into the stormwater drains. Now when the time of storms, and then our stormwater system will not able to cope with the amount of volume that is coming in. Then you find these areas now becoming flooded. Then we also have the issue of property management plan. So we advise if you are extending, you are doing a retaining wall, communities that you submit. You also do a stormwater management plan. So we advise communities to have a jojoba tank just to retain that water, because for us, we only manage 40% of the stormwater because we are in a period of water scarcity. We also promote that as a department, our residents, they can apply a proper management plan in terms of their stormwater, So I would like to thank you very much and hope that you've done something.
Recycling, we have quite a few recycling programs on the go, and for example, as say the Orange Bag program, we also have the buyback centres. We've got a network of buyback centres where we have we pay cash over the counter. These are job creation as well as recycling programs throughout the city. We have a wide range of programs available. Our office will be able to inform anybody who's interested in what we're doing. We have education offices throughout the city. We do have particular areas which are of difficulty. I, for one, have been doing the litter survey of Durban since December 1983. And since December 1983, and I'll stand by the figures that I have been doing, that we've over 70% improvement in the litter situation in the city. Other problems has been illegal dumping, and I'd like to hand over to our colleague Tabili, who is going to talk about it.
And in preparing this presentation, just to show you the illegal dumping, how much it hurts us as a unit in terms of resources, in terms of time, and also how beautiful our city is meant to be looking. We provide Amawili bins. Amawili bins is these green bins that we see around this area, and skips. Because of the nature of how different people generate e-waste, and these are the effects. The first one, illegal electrical connection. And there are cords connecting this side of the stream to another side of the stream. And inside the stream, there's litter. So if an employee of cleansing and solid waste is trying to pick up the waste, there's a chance that they might get electrocuted. It needs to start from us. We need to all take responsibility for the manner in which we dispose of our waste. And another issue, law enforcement. By law, abantu that are caught illegally dumping, they need to be fined and they need to be taken to task for that. But you find that in some other areas, it is not possible to do so, or these people are reported. But by the time law enforcement comes, they are gone. At the top is our reception line and our reception email address. The second number is our education department. Our education department will be able to assist with recycling stats, and everything you need to know that is community-based.
We highlight our plan as a country that shall take us to the 2030 agenda of eradicating poverty. And then that plan talks about how we intend to implement the new urban agenda. Now, just start to use these terms. And then it's called newer if we abbreviate it because we like to use that. Right now, this year's theme, it says innovative governance, open cities. How befitting is that when we are trying to look at how we embrace each other, how we address spatial integration, how we promote placemaking and health. I think I should say it. Thank you. I think I made a point with that PowerPoint. Did I make it?
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
Papa.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Trelo Butelezi, coming from City Integrity and Investigations Unit. The mandate of the office obviously emanates from the Constitution, Chapter 2, which deals with the Bill of Rights, and also Chapter 7, that deals with the local government. We also have Chapter 10 from the Constitution that also gives effect to Chapter 7. Our mandate is to promote the respect of human rights and also protect the human rights. We also have fraud prevention, which deals mainly with the conducting of systematic investigations, dealing with fraud risk management among the city. When it comes to reporting matters in our office, if your complaint has to do with service delivery, we encourage people to first exhaust the internal remedies that exist within that particular department. The reports can therefore be made either by calling our reception at 031 311 4002. You may use the fax and the email address, but most importantly, you may also use our toll-free number, which is 0800 20 20 20. Thank you.